Hello, welcome to our channel. Today we will talk about a very important topic: what causes gout and the main reason for gout. The biggest reason people develop gout is the excessive production of uric acid by the body. Uric acid, a byproduct of fructose, sugar, and alcohol metabolism, accumulates in the blood, leading to hyperuricemia. Think of the body as a factory. When you consume sugar and alcohol, you're supplying raw materials that result in more uric acid production. But why is uric acid so problematic? Consider uric acid as tiny, sharp crystals. When there's too much in the blood, these crystals can settle into the joints, causing severe pain and inflammation. It's similar to putting too much sugar in coffee, resulting in undissolved grains at the bottom, except these grains cause excruciating pain instead of just a sweet drink. Avoiding gout involves managing what goes into your body. Reducing sugar and alcohol intake can significantly decrease the amount of uric acid your body produces. This proactive step is like cutting off the supply of raw materials to a factory, ultimately reducing the problematic output. Speaking of sugar and alcohol, it's important to understand how these elements directly influence uric acid levels in our bodies. Fructose and alcohol are the main culprits when it comes to elevated uric acid levels. Consuming large amounts of sugar and alcoholic beverages significantly increases the levels of uric acid in the blood. When you indulge in that soda or sugar-laden dessert, your liver works to convert the fructose into uric acid, contributing to the risk of developing gout. Alcohol, on the other hand, worsens the situation even further. First, it impairs the kidney's ability to eliminate uric acid from the body. Think of the kidneys as filters that get clogged with alcohol consumption, preventing the efficient elimination of uric acid. Additionally, some alcoholic beverages like beer are rich in purines, which also convert into uric acid in the body. Therefore, to prevent gout, reducing sugar and alcohol consumption is essential. This delicate balance, avoiding excess of these items, can keep your uric acid levels under control. And we must not forget that different types of sugars have varied effects on the body, some more harmful than others, as we will see next. Not all sugars are equal, and this makes a big difference when talking about gout and uric acid. Sucrose, lactose, and maltose are types of simple sugars, but each has a distinct impact on the body. Lactose, for example, is the sugar in milk, composed of glucose and galactose. Maltose is formed by two glucose molecules, while sucrose, found in fruits and sweets, is a combination of glucose and fructose. Fructose, however, is the most harmful when it comes to uric acid. While all sugars can contribute to health problems if consumed in excess, fructose causes 7 times more oxidative stress in the body compared to glucose. Additionally, it is the biggest driver of insulin resistance, a problem that exacerbates gout even further. So when you consume foods or drinks high in fructose, like sodas, fruit juices, and sweets, you are putting your body at risk. The key to avoiding the worst effects of sugar is moderation and conscious choices about the types of sugar you consume. And speaking of fructose, it is worth understanding how it is metabolized by the body, especially by the liver. When we consume fructose, it is quickly absorbed by the intestines and sent directly to the liver. Think of the liver as a busy factory, processing all that fructose and converting it into uric acid. This process not only increases uric acid levels, but also inhibits the production of nitric oxide, a vital molecule for maintaining low blood pressure. This is why many people with gout also suffer from hypertension. Additionally, the liver converts excess fructose into fat. This can lead to the accumulation of fat in the liver, contributing to fatty liver disease, a condition that inflames the liver and impairs its function. This fat accumulation is not just a problem for the liver, but can also trigger other metabolic diseases. Fructose metabolism is a vicious cycle. The conversion of fructose into fat and uric acid creates an inflammatory environment in the body. This constant process can lead to insulin resistance and increased cravings for more sugar, further fueling the harmful cycle. And this resistance and inflammation are just the beginning of the metabolic problems that can arise. High levels of uric acid and fructose in the body cause chronic inflammation and resistance to leptin and insulin. Inflammation acts like a constant fire in the body, damaging organs and tissues over time. This inflammation is a response to excess uric acid and fructose, creating a hostile environment within. Leptin resistance, the hormone that signals to the brain when we are full, leads to increased cravings for food, especially sugary foods. It's as if the body's hunger switch is permanently on, leading to even more sugar consumption. This further exacerbates inflammation and uric acid production, creating a difficult cycle to break. Additionally, insulin resistance, which is crucial for regulating blood sugar levels, contributes to various metabolic conditions. When the body's cells become resistant to insulin, the pancreas needs to produce more of this hormone to keep blood sugar levels under control. This extra effort overburdens the system, increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes. And this resistance is not isolated. It usually comes with other metabolic conditions. People who suffer from gout often face other metabolic conditions, such as type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, and high triglyceride levels. These conditions work like a domino effect, where insulin resistance and chronic inflammation trigger a series of health problems. Gout, then, is not an isolated problem, but part of a larger picture of metabolic imbalance. Metabolic syndrome, for example, is a cluster of conditions that includes high blood pressure, high blood sugar, excess abdominal fat, and abnormal cholesterol levels. Each of these conditions increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. This combination of factors contributes to a greater risk of serious health issues. Additionally, high triglyceride levels, which are fats in the blood, are another sign of metabolic problems. When combined with gout, these high levels indicate that the body is struggling to process nutrients efficiently, resulting in harmful accumulations of fat and sugar. And this leads us to reflect on the history of this disease, which is not something new. In the past, gout was known as the disease of kings, or disease of the rich. This was because it was primarily the royalty and aristocrats who suffered from this condition due to their high consumption of alcohol and rich foods. At that time, sugar was an expensive and rare commodity, reserved for the most fortunate, who indulged in sumptuous banquets and elaborate desserts. Nowadays, the reality is very different. Sugar has become a cheap product and is present in 75% of processed foods. This means that, unlike ancient times, anyone can consume large amounts of sugar without realizing it. The easy access to sugar and alcoholic beverages has led to a significant increase in gout cases, making it a common disease across the population. This change in sugar and alcohol consumption over time shows how dietary habits directly influence health. The amount of sugar a person consumes can be 3 times higher than recommended, contributing to the development of metabolic diseases. And speaking of excessive consumption, it is essential to understand the impact of sugar consumption on our health. Today's sugar consumption is alarming. The recommendation is that people consume no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day, but the average American consumes 3 times this amount. This excessive sugar consumption is one of the main factors leading to the development of metabolic diseases. By ingesting large amounts of sugar daily, the body is constantly overwhelmed, resulting in serious health problems. This excess sugar is not just in obvious sweets like candies and desserts, but also in foods many do not consider dangerous, like bread, sauces, and even processed savory foods. This hidden presence of sugar makes it difficult for many to control their daily intake. Sugar is disguised in various forms on food labels, which can confuse consumers. The impact of this high sugar consumption is reflected in several lab indicators. Uric acid levels above 5.5, high fasting insulin levels, and elevated triglycerides are clear signs of metabolic dysfunction. Monitoring these indicators can be a useful tool for identifying and preventing problems before they become chronic. And speaking of indicators, let's explore in more detail how they can help identify insulin resistance. Monitoring lab indicators is crucial for identifying metabolic problems, like gout, before they become chronic. Uric acid levels above 5.5 are a clear sign of mitochondrial dysfunction and insulin resistance. These elevated levels indicate that the body is not efficiently processing nutrients, leading to harmful uric acid accumulation. Another important indicator is fasting insulin levels. High insulin levels suggest that the body is struggling to keep blood sugar levels under control, a sign of insulin resistance. When cells do not respond adequately to insulin, the pancreas needs to produce more of this hormone, which overburdens the system and contributes to the development of type 2 diabetes. Elevated triglyceride levels are also a strong indicator of metabolic problems. When combined with high uric acid and insulin levels, These triglycerides indicate that the body is storing excess fat and sugar. Monitoring these three indicators can help prevent and manage gout and other conditions related to insulin resistance. To avoid these complications, it is essential to minimize sugar and alcohol consumption, promoting healthier eating habits. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching this far. I hope this information has been useful and inspiring. Remember, the key to preventing gout and other metabolic conditions is monitoring your sugar and alcohol intake, as well as paying attention to important lab indicators. How can you start reducing sugar in your diet today? Have you checked your uric acid levels recently? Share your experiences and questions in the comments. If you enjoyed this content and want to keep learning about health and wellness, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Take advantage of this and watch our video on how to reduce uric acid and heal arthritis. Until the next video, and take care.